Okay, so now that we have the contour line or outline of our sneaker or shoe done, we're going to start to work our way in. So what I'm going to do now is really look at the big details. This really divides the sneaker in half, this line. And I also have the front of the sneaker here where the shoelaces are going in, and then we have the shoelaces going back here where the tongue is black. So I'm going to start to figure out where all those things are. So this is like the white area, that curved area right here. And it's also like the front of the sneaker. So the tongue is behind it, and that's in front. So I'm going to make it a whole new section. And this front part dips down. So now that you can see there's like that opening here where you put your foot in, it dips down. So there's this front part, and then there's this back part, which is a little bit higher. So I'm going to make that. And in person, I can see it. And as you're drawing your shoe or sneaker, you'll see the details better than a video. And it dips way down. And then it curves up to the back of that sneaker right here. Tips way down here. And then here's the white stripe, the white edge of the front where all the laces are. And then that kind of ends because one of the shoelaces goes across. Now, as I said before, you can make the shoelaces or not. I mean, they're a little more challenging. It's a nice detail to add, but they are tougher. And without me being able to get, to show you really close up in person, it's kind of hard for me to show you. So if you want to leave them out, that's fine. But I'm going to add them in, and you can see it kind of wraps around. So this is like the shaded part, and this is the part that wraps around. Okay, so now I'm going to get back to the big details I see. This tongue goes right into the sneaker. So it's like black tongue, black inside, black outside. It's kind of a lot of the same color happening, so it's hard to see, but I can see in person. So this tongue goes right down into the sneaker. I'm going to erase some of the other sketchy lines I know I don't need. This, I guess I'll leave right now. Well, no, I'll get rid of that arrow. You're going to see it right now. So behind the tongue, I see like the back of the shoe. So I'm going to draw what I see. Remember, like just like the apple and the pear, you draw what you see. You don't draw what you don't see. From my perspective, I can see the back or the other side of the sneaker dips down and then comes back up. So this is where your foot will go into. The swoosh itself, it gets kind of chopped off on the bottom right here. Let's see. Oh, I want to continue this line first. This line right here is very important. Okay. Now I'm looking at the swoosh. This point comes all the way up to the very top of my, the side of my sneaker right here. And so this is where you might be adjusting things. So like, I feel like I'm going to run out of room for my swoosh, so I might have to drop this whole sneaker down. That's why you don't want to get too involved with detail, because then you end up having to erase things that you spent so much time on. So you kind of wait later. I feel like I'm going to bring this down a little bit. So it's going to stay high, and then it's going to dip down more, and then that'll allow more room for my swoosh, and it looks more realistic for the sneaker that I'm drawing. Dips down, and then it comes back up more. And, you know, of course, with your sneaker, your shoe, just do your best. I mean, this is, you know, a tough way for you to learn. I'm trying to do my best teaching you personally without having some random YouTube person teaching you in a way that I might not be teaching you. So I want to do it the way I want to do it for you. I want to teach you more personally. So just, you know, do your best with this kind of teaching, this kind of learning. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for effort. Okay, just try. It's just, this really gives you a good eye for detail. It really makes you look at what you're drawing when you draw from direct observation. And your sneaker, I mean, that's like a piece of you. Usually, you've had them for a while. You do a lot of things in your sneakers, go a lot of places. So I feel like you have a little bit of a connection to with your sneaker or your shoe, whatever it is that you're drawing. And then this swoosh kind of wraps around the back. And I don't know if you've ever tried to draw the Nike swoosh before, but it's not as easy as it looks. And see, it's just flat and chopped off right here. So now I'm going to start continuing from here. And it gets thin as it goes up. It kind of wraps around from the back. Trying to give the illusion that this is curved. Everything curves in, curves in, curves in, curves in and around the back, in and around the back, in and around the back. Just like you were trying to give the illusion of your apple or pear being curved. Just try to curve everything back here. It's not just a straight line across. Curves up and back. Okay, so that's not perfect, but I feel like it's good enough. And at this point, this is also a very prominent design here where the color changes from white to like that teal. So I'm going to indicate where that is. Here we have Zoom. It says Nike Zoom. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of indicate where there's like some 3D-ness of this sole. So that's like a design there. This actually has, it's like 3D right here. So I'm just going to kind of put a line where it shows the edge of that 3D sole, because that's where I'm going to be shading later. And it kind of goes right up and to the point or the toe of the shoe. Okay, so just for now, because I want to indicate where I'm going to put this. Now, if your sneaker or shoe has words, you know, you can put them in. You don't have to. These are really, really small. So I am going to sharpen my pencil. So the word Nike is a lot smaller than the word Zoom. And so the Zoom would be right around here. The O's, of course, are not circular. They're like 3, 4, 5, 6, like hexagons, maybe. And, you know, again, you don't have to get overly concerned with that stuff. So you challenge yourself as much as you want with these details. If you don't want to add shoelaces, don't. If you don't want to add words, don't. As long as I see that you have effort and you've tried, that's all I care about. Okay, so there's Nike, there's a zoom, put Nike here. I'm just kind of sketching it in. Okay, so that's good. I can always change that later if I need to. The next detail I want to add is a zigzag. So here I have the bottom shoelace. And I know I can see in person, I know it's kind of hard, but I know there's a zigzag here. It goes out and in and out and in. So take a good look at your shoe or sneaker. See what kind of design you have. And here's where my shoelace is coming out of. It kind of covers up the rest of what I would do. There's a thickness to this white stripe. That stripe has got a thickness to it. Here's where the shoelace would come out. Oh, of course, we have to add the little line to show that it's your sneaker or shoe is sitting on the floor or the table in this case. And I'm just going to kind of drape that down. Just kind of sketch it in right now. Not too many twists to it, so that's good. And then put that little plastic thing in. Oh, you can't see. So I just put the little plastic thing in there at the end. That's a part that you probably won't be able to see too much. But of course, inside that you would just erase because the shoelace covers up that part of the sneaker. Before I run out of time, I want to make sure I have enough room or time to do this little Nike label. It kind of comes in, and so this is where like the shoelaces would come in if you want. If you just leave it like this, that's fine. You don't have to. I might work on the shoelaces a little bit in between now and the next video. Kind of put those in. But besides these details, I can't really see much else besides the shading I'm going to do next time. And of course, all these little black marks I'll just make with color later. Okay, so that's enough detail, I think. And my next video, I'll show you, I'll do the shoelaces on my own. And then I'll show you the details and the shading that I'm going to add inside the sneaker.